When you decide to manifest anything you desire, you're stepping into a truth that has always belonged to you. You are the creator of your experience. Not by chance, not by luck, by intention, by choice, by the energy you bring into your life every single day. Most people spend their lives reacting to their circumstances. But the moment you flip that switch, the moment you realize you can generate the state, the vision, the emotion that moves you forward, everything changes. Manifestation isn't about wishful thinking. It's about aligning your mind, your emotions, and your actions with the future you want to live in. You don't manifest from fear. You don't manifest from doubt. You manifest from certainty. The kind of certainty that says, I may not see it yet, but I know it's already mine. That confidence is a muscle, and the more you use it, the stronger it becomes. Your desires are not random. They're signals, invitations. They're life pointing you toward a version of yourself you haven't stepped into yet. When you honor those desires, you tap into something powerful. The part of you that refuses to settle, refuses to shrink, refuses to stay small. You start showing up with a different level of intention, clarity, and presence. And life responds to that. But manifestation requires courage. The courage to let go of what no longer fits. The courage to believe in a vision no one else can see yet. The courage to take bold action when your mind wants to play safe. Every great transformation begins with a single moment. The moment you decide you're done living below your potential. Your thoughts create momentum. Your emotions fuel it. Your actions lock it into reality. You become magnetic, not because you're lucky, not because life suddenly favors you, but because you've aligned everything within you. And when you operate from that place, opportunities, people, ideas, and breakthroughs start accelerating toward you. You have everything you need right now to manifest anything you desire. Not tomorrow, not someday, right now. The question is, are you willing to step into the version of yourself who already has it? Are you willing to think like them, act like them, carry yourself like them, decide like them? Because when your identity shifts, your world shifts. This is your moment. Your power isn't something you earn. It's something you claim. So claim it. Speak your vision. Feel it in your body. Move toward it every day. Don't wait for permission. Don't wait for perfect timing. Don't wait for proof. You are the proof. Everything you desire is already on its way. Align with it. Act with intention. And watch your reality transform in ways that once felt impossible. You are the creator of your experience, not by luck, not by chance, but by the quiet and continuous choices you make every single day. Everything you feel, everything you pursue, everything you allow, and everything you believe forms the reality you live in. This isn't about blaming yourself for what has happened. It's about reclaiming the extraordinary power you've always had but may have forgotten. When you realize that your thoughts, emotions, and behaviors are the blueprint of your life, you begin to understand that you are not a passenger. You are the one steering the direction of your journey. Every experience begins as a seed planted in the mind. What you focus on multiplies. What you dwell on grows stronger. If you feed your mind with fear, doubt, and limitation, then your experience will reflect that same energy. But when you feed it with possibility, vision, and intention, your experience transforms. The world responds to the quality of energy you bring to it. That's why two people can face the same situation and walk away with completely different outcomes. It isn't the circumstance. It's the internal state. It's the meaning you give to events, the story you choose to tell yourself, and the action you decide to take next. You create your experience through interpretation, through response, and through belief. Many people wait for external conditions to change before they feel empowered. They wait for the perfect moment, the perfect opportunity, or the perfect level of confidence before they move forward. But the truth is, experience doesn't change because life suddenly becomes easier. It changes because you become intentional. You become decisive. You step into the role of a creator, not a reactor. The world reflects what you are willing to claim. And if you don't claim your power, life will hand you whatever is left over. You shape your experience through the standards you set. If you accept mediocrity, you receive mediocrity. If you demand progress, you create progress. Standards are not about perfection, they're about identity. When you raise your standards, you raise the quality of your life. You stop tolerating what drains you. You stop watering what isn't growing you. You start choosing behaviors that match the life you want rather than the life you've settled for. Every new standard becomes a signal to the world about who you are becoming, and the world responds accordingly. Your emotions play a powerful role in creation. They are not random reactions. They are signals that guide your direction. When you feel inspired, excited, or driven, those emotions push you toward possibility. When you feel frustrated or stuck, those emotions push you to shift, to adjust, or to release what's no longer aligned. You create your experience by choosing how long you stay in each emotional state. You can observe your emotions without letting them control your identity. You can choose to move from doubt to certainty, from overwhelm to clarity, from hesitation to action. Emotion is energy, and when you learn to use it rather than be used by it, you change everything. Action is the bridge between imagination and experience. You can dream, visualize, and plan, but unless you act, nothing changes. Creation requires movement. Every small decision you make is a vote for the future you desire. Even the smallest action taken in alignment with your vision sends a message to your subconscious that you are serious, committed, and ready. Over time, those small actions build momentum, and momentum builds transformation. You don't need to leap, you just need to consistently step. Each step confirms that you are the creator, not the observer. The mind will sometimes resist. It will tell you that things are too difficult, that you're not ready, that you don't know enough, or that you might fail. But remember, your mind reflects past programming, not future potential. You are not defined by old patterns unless you choose to keep them. Every moment gives you the ability to rewrite the script. You can choose new thoughts. You can choose new beliefs. You can choose new behaviors. And with every new choice, your experience evolves. When you fully embrace that you are the creator of your experience, you stop waiting for someone else to save you, validate you, or give you permission. You stop expecting life to hand you what you're unwilling to work for. Instead, you take ownership, not in a heavy, forceful way, but in an empowered and liberating way. You begin to notice the connection between your inner world and your outer world. You understand that when you shift your thinking, your environment shifts. When you elevate your energy, opportunities elevate with it. When you commit to growth, life expands to meet your commitment. Creation is not a one-time event. It is a lifetime practice. Every day offers a new chance to choose who you want to be. You don't have to get everything perfect. You just have to stay conscious, stay intentional, stay aligned. As long as you are choosing your direction, choosing your meaning, choosing your mindset, and choosing your action, you are creating. You have always had this power. You have always been capable. Today is the day to step fully into it. You are the creator of how you rise, how you grow, how you transform, and how you experience your life. And once you claim that truth, nothing can stop you from shaping a reality that reflects the greatness within you. Manifestation requires certainty, not doubt, because the energy you project is the energy that returns to you. When you approach your desires with hesitation, fear, or uncertainty, you send conflicting signals to your mind and to the world around you. Doubt acts like a brake. You may be pressing the accelerator with your desires, but the moment doubt creeps in, the movement slows, the vision gets cloudy, and your momentum fades. Certainty, on the other hand, is the fuel. It is the emotional and mental alignment that tells your mind, your behavior, and your environment that you are ready to receive what you're asking for. Without certainty, manifestation becomes inconsistent. With certainty, it becomes inevitable. Certainty is not arrogance. It's not pretending everything is perfect or forcing positivity. Certainty is a deep inner knowing, a grounded belief that what you desire is meant for you, that it is possible, and that it is already in motion even when you don't yet see the physical evidence. It's the unwavering conviction that your intention carries power. It's the recognition that you are not waiting for luck. You are building a reality through conscious focus and aligned action. Doubt disconnects you from your power. Certainty activates it. Most people think manifestation fails because their desires were unrealistic. In reality, manifestation fails because their commitment was unstable. They believed for a day, then questioned for a week. They visualized their dream, then immediately imagined everything that could go wrong. They set intentions, then allowed old fears and past experiences to dictate their expectations. If you feed doubt, it grows. If you feed certainty, it expands. Manifestation responds to the energy you sustain, not the energy you visit occasionally. Certainty begins in the mind, but it strengthens through repetition. Every time you choose to believe in your vision despite external circumstances, you reinforce the neurological pathways that support that belief. The brain reflects what you consistently think. When you continuously reaffirm your intention through thought, emotion, speech, and behavior, you create an internal environment where doubt cannot thrive. Certainty becomes your default state, not because the world gives you proof, but because you decide to trust your direction. Manifestation requires that trust. You cannot expect a reality you don't believe you can have. The energy of doubt often comes from old conditioning, things you were told, failures you experienced, or limitations placed on you by others. But those old stories do not define your future unless you choose to keep repeating them. To manifest what you desire, you must learn to separate the past from the future. Certainty is not about ignoring past pain. It's about refusing to let it predict why. Our outcome. When you hold certainty, you declare that your future is bigger than your history. You declare that your desires are valid and that your direction is intentional. Certainty becomes powerful when it translates into behavior. When you believe deeply in your vision, you act differently. You take steps that align with the outcome you expect. You handle challenges without collapsing. You stay patient because certainty removes desperation. You stay focused because certainty removes distraction. You stay resilient because certainty removes fear of temporary setbacks. When you know where you're going, small obstacles do not intimidate you. They become part of the process, not signs that you should stop. Manifestation is not magic. It is alignment. And alignment cannot happen if your beliefs, words, and actions contradict each other. If you want something with your heart, but doubt it with your mind, you send mixed frequencies. Manifestation responds to clarity. Certainty creates that clarity. It creates coherence between your inner world and your intentions. When you maintain certainty, your thoughts support your desires, your emotions energize your desires, and your actions move you toward your desires. That level of alignment is what transforms vision into reality. Even when results are not immediately visible, certainty keeps you steady. Doubt makes you check the clock, question the process, and sabotage your progress by constantly shifting direction. Certainty allows you to stay on the path long enough for the results to unfold. It gives you patience, discipline, and emotional resilience. It allows you to stay grounded in faith instead of reacting to temporary circumstances. Certainty whispers, "It's happening," even when the physical world has not yet caught up. You do not need instant proof to hold certainty. You simply need a decision to be. Believe in your dream more than your fear, in your potential more than your limitations, and in your future more than your past. Certainty is a choice, and once you choose it fully, manifestation becomes a natural expression of your mindset. Manifestation requires certainty, not doubt, because certainty is what connects you to your power. It is the foundation that turns intention into creation. And when you hold that certainty long enough, reality rearranges itself to match the truth you have claimed. Your desires are signals guiding you toward your higher potential, not random wishes or fleeting fantasies. They are the internal compass pointing you in the direction of who you are capable of becoming. Every desire you feel, whether it's for growth, success, love, contribution, impact, or transformation, is rooted in something deeper than preference. It comes from the part of you that knows there is more inside you, more to express, more to create, more to experience. Desire is not an accident. It is instruction. It is the whisper of your future self calling you forward. Most people misunderstand desire. They think desire is selfish, unrealistic, or impractical. But desire is one of the most powerful forms of intuition. It's the internal nudge that tells you that the life you're living is not yet the life you're meant to settle for. It's the reminder that you're built for expansion, not stagnation. You don't feel desire because you're lacking something. You feel desire because you're ready for something. Desire shows up when your potential is asking to be unlocked. When a desire arises, it is revealing a new level of yourself that wants to emerge. If you desire confidence, it means you're ready to step into environments that require it. If you desire financial growth, it means you're ready to expand your discipline, your creativity, and your mindset. If you desire a deeper connection with others, it means you're ready to grow emotionally and open your heart. Desire is an invitation to evolve. It points to the next chapter you are meant to step into. Ignoring your desires doesn't make them disappear. It only delays your growth. Suppressed desire becomes frustration. Denied desire becomes stagnation. When you dismiss what you truly want, you disconnect from your potential. But when you honor your desires, when you listen to them and allow them to guide you, you initiate a powerful transformation. You step into alignment with your inner truth. You start moving toward a future that reflects your highest self. Desires also reveal what strengths you are meant to develop. They stretch you in ways comfort never will. They push you to become mentally stronger, emotionally wiser, and spiritually aligned. If you suddenly feel a desire to start a business, it isn't just about the business, it's about becoming someone who takes ownership. If you feel the desire to improve your health, it's not just about a physical result. It's about becoming a disciplined, intentional, energized version of yourself. Desires point to your next evolution. Every time you feel a desire, it carries a message. You are capable of more than you're currently expressing. You wouldn't desire it if you weren't built for it. You wouldn't feel it if you weren't meant to grow into it. Your desires are perfectly matched with your potential. They are not obstacles, they are clues. They show you what direction to take, what changes to make, and what parts of yourself to develop. They are the roadmap to your future identity. Your desires are also aligned with your purpose. They highlight where your passion lives, where your energy increases, where your creativity flows. You naturally desire what aligns with who you are becoming. Desire doesn't pull you backward, it pulls you UPW. The fact that you desire something means there is a version of you already capable of living it. Your job is not to question the desire, it is to grow into the person who can hold it. When you follow your desires with intention, you unlock a level of clarity and direction that logic alone cannot provide. Logic tells you what is safe. Desire tells you what is possible. Logic keeps you in the known. Desire guides you into the unknown because that is where your expansion lives. When you trust your desires, you awaken dormant potential. Talents, creativity, resilience, confidence, vision, leadership, courage, qualities that only activate when you pursue something meaningful. Your desires do not come to torment you, they come to transform you. They are reminders that you are not done growing. They push you to break old patterns, release old limitations, and rise into new levels of identity. They guide you toward the life that reflects your highest potential, not the life you've been conditioned to accept. Your desires are not random. They are your soul speaking. They are your potential calling. They are your future self reaching back and saying, come this way. When you honor that call, you become who you were always meant to be. Transformation demands courage because every meaningful change requires you to step beyond what is familiar, predictable, and comfortable. Growth never happens in the space where everything feels easy. It happens in the moments when you decide to face the discomfort of becoming someone new. Courage is not the absence of fear, it's the decision to move forward even when fear is present. It is the willingness to confront uncertainty, challenge old identities, and let go of the parts of yourself that no longer serve your future. Without courage, transformation remains an idea. With courage, it becomes a lived reality. Courage is essential. Beck. Aw's transformation asks you to release what feels safe. The mind clings to the known even when the known is limiting. Old habits, old thoughts, old beliefs, they provide a sense of security, but they also keep you confined. The moment you choose transformation, you disrupt that stability. You question long-held assumptions. You break patterns that have defined you. You step into territory where you have no guarantee of the outcome. That takes bravery, because it's far easier to remain where you are than to risk becoming who you could be. Transformation begins with the courage to be honest with yourself. Honest about what you want, honest about what's holding you back, honest about the behaviors and patterns that keep you small. It takes courage to look at your life and say, I can do better, I can be more, and I'm ready to change. Many people avoid this level of self-awareness because it requires accountability. It requires admitting that the life they desire will not be created through excuses, fear, or hesitation. It will be created through the willingness to take responsibility for their choices and their mindset. That level of truth can be uncomfortable, but it is the first step toward transformation. Courage also shows up in the willingness to let go. Letting go of old identities, letting go of past failures, letting go of relationships, habits, or environments that no longer support your growth. Letting go is one of the hardest acts of bravery because it forces you to release what feels familiar in exchange for what feels uncertain. But transformation is impossible without release. You cannot hold on to the old version of yourself and expect to step into the new one. Courage is the bridge that allows you to move from one chapter to the next. Another aspect of transformation that requires courage is vulnerability. When you evolve, you expose yourself to judgment, misunderstanding, and doubt, sometimes from others and sometimes from yourself. People may question your changes. They may not understand your path. They may expect you to remain who you've always been. It takes courage to stand firm in your evolution, even when others don't support it. It takes courage to say, I am changing, and I'm not going back. Vulnerability is not weakness. It is the raw strength of being willing to grow in the open. Courage is also needed when you face setbacks. Transformation is not linear. It's messy, unpredictable, and often challenging. There will be days when you feel stuck, discouraged, or uncertain. There will be moments when progress feels slow or invisible. Without courage, these moments can pull you back into old patterns. But courage allows you to stay committed even when results are not immediate. It reminds you that discomfort is temporary and that growth is happening beneath the surface. Courage keeps you grounded when the journey tests you. Transformation demands courage because you must act before you feel ready. You must trust the path before you see the proof. You must take the first step without knowing the entire route. That leap of faith, one grounded in intuition, desire, and purpose, is what separates those who change from those who only wish for change. Courage allows you to build momentum. Once you take that initial step, the next one becomes easier, and soon you realize you are evolving into someone stronger, wiser, and more aligned. It also takes courage to dream boldly. Many people shrink their desires because they fear disappointment or judgment. But transformation cannot happen when you're playing small. You must allow yourself to want more, to imagine more, and to pursue more. Courage is the force that expands your vision. It allows you to explore possibilities beyond your current reality. It opens doors that fear would keep closed. Ultimately, transformation demands courage because you are not just changing your habits, you are changing your identity. You are becoming someone with new beliefs, new behaviors, new expectations, and new standards. Identity shifts are powerful, but they are not easy. They require strength, self-awareness, patience, and emotional resilience. They require the courage to step away from who you've been and move boldly toward who you are meant to be. Courage does not make the journey effortless, but it makes it possible. It is the engine of transformation. When you choose courage again and again, you create space for growth, expansion, and evolution. You rise above fear. You break through limitations. You unlock your potential. Transformation demands courage because courage is the force that turns your desire for change into the experience of change. It is the moment you say yes to your future, even when your past tries to hold you back. And once you choose that courage, transformation becomes not just possible, but inevitable.